everybody. I will be doing some water bathing today. It's gonna be oranges. All right. I got everything set up to go. Um, so I got all my things are ready to go. So all right, I'll show you what we are needing. I have here's some dehydrated. I'm not dehydrated. Sorry, some peeled oranges there. Um, I have my sticky thing here to debubble it all. I've got my rag and my vinegar here. Um, you'll need the screw bands. You'll need the jar lifter out thing. You'll need the magnet. Um, you'll need the rubber bands. They're already warmed up there. You will need uh, a pot. I use this. This is one that has been passed down from my great grandmother. My great grandmother had it. My grandma had it. My mom had it, and now I have it. So you'll need this water. From what I know, any pot will do, as long as you got something. Now I've got this thing here. It will hold the jars in there, and it's sitting up there so that I can put the jars in. Because I will be using the 250 milliliter bottles. I will also use this thing on top of that. So it's like that. Okay, so that the 250 milliliter bottles don't fall through on me or touch the bottom of the pot there, because it break the jars when it's doing its thing, and or when you go to lift them out or what have you, it's gonna break. Chances are very good on that, and that goes with pressure canning too. I have no, it's not in there. It's in there. My 250 milliliter mason jars there. They have been in the oven at 275 for about a half an hour ago. I have my soup thing here. And then I've got this thing to put the water in, because I'm going to be doing this. I'm not doing anything to the oranges. They're just going in as is, like I peeled them, put them in that bowl. I'm not going to, I don't know the cooking terms or whatever, but I haven't done anything to them at all, period. Just peeled them and that's it. Then I have this pot here. Now, when it comes to that, I use, I've heard different ways of doing it. You can do it with sugar, to a certain amount of sugar to a certain amount of liters per water or what have you there. And, or you can just, I've heard that. And when I saw that, I was like, this is just not going to be happening, right? Got missing teeth. Used to play football. Helmet popped off, and some teeth got cracked and chipped all along this side. And my grandma's got shitty teeth. So any work that had been done, they broke. And so I just said, well, like I'm going to be turning 42 this month. So I was like, just rip it out. So I don't have to pay for it and deal with it again. But yeah, so I said no. So I just I put honey in there. I'd say maybe while it's heating, while that water's heating up and all that. You may have seen this spoon in a couple of other videos of mine, but this spoon it's a good size spoon, right? You can see the curve underneath it. I will put maybe 5 or 6 of these to that pot of honey, and this is a so you guys got it's about hand height, from your wrist to the tip of your fingers, hand height, and where the water is down to almost a finger, right? So I don't know how big that pot is. I'm just using what I got and what have you, and just doing right. And that's partly why I show you guys when I'm out here. I show you how I do things and the way I do things. But keep in mind there are, I don't want to say rules and regulations, but there's certain things that you gotta abide by for not getting sick with botulism or whatever else. Okay, so like I've got my oranges over here, my bubble mixer, my bubble thing, and my lids and vinegar. My honey water is over here. The black pot where I'm gonna be doing the water bathing is right here. Mason jars is here, and I'll say it a couple of times as I do the routine as I move around. Okay. So get my glove on here. It's a double cotton glove from you can get at construction stores. It just gives me all my fingers and my thumb use to grab on to stuff and the mason jars and what have you, coming out of the oven and dealing with them without getting first degree burns. It does heat up, so yeah, and that's when I just let it go or gonna put it down. Right, it's only to get it out of the oven to over here to put the whatever I'm doing with over here, because I do a lot of raw pack stuff. Then it's back over to here to where the water needs to go into. Then it's back over to here to debubble it and do what I need to do back here, and then back into the water bather or the pressure canner. So I'm gonna get a mason jar here. Okay, then I just use my hands after they've been washed, and I just go like this with the oranges until it's, I don't want to say full, but remember, you got to have a head space. Some people say about an inch, or it's an inch. Okay, so that's what I do, is where roughly where it is, right? I shake it up a bit, right, so it gets I don't want to say more packed in there, but it takes some of the space out or what have you. Now it's over to here to the honey water, and then I put this like this, so I can put the water in there with the soup spoon thing. All right, so I put it in the honey water here. Okay, so I got to put a couple of drops back in because it was too much. There we go. Too much of a shine. Yeah. All right. It's about where this line is that I some people use a measuring stick, but once the water is there at this particular line here is where I want it. Having ADHD routine, doing stuff, and having like you see in my videos, so I'm debubbling it here. Sometimes you can add an extra 1, 2, or however many, because you're getting the bubbles out and you're also pushing the stuff in so that but I can fit one more into there. Then I gotta get the vinegar on the rag here. Okay. Alright. Okay. And then you just want to wipe the edge off here at the very top. I use vinegar because it's one of the best things to use. It's one of the best cleaning things, and it gets pretty much anything off there. So sometimes I wipe the lid, just to get it cleaned up a little bit better, right? And then I put it on there, and then I get the screw lid put on there, and just hand tight. Don't really muscle it on there, because you don't want that. Because when what will happen is it's doing its thing. I got the mason jar, putting the oranges in there now. What happens is, even when you're pressure canning it, and I'll show you with this jar, is when you're doing this, it will expand the water, and to the lid, and you got to have it done, have it like that for X amount of time, whether you're water bathing or pressure canning it, as it's cooking off all of your bacterias and what have you. Now oranges are acidy, so that's why you can water bathe it. So put the vinegar on there, and then I need this thing to get the rubber band lid. I wipe it down, and the only reason why I'm wiping the lids when it comes to using the syrup, it's sticky, and I just make sure that both are done like that. So yeah, yeah. So I need the screw lid, and into there. Yeah, I've done some other things today, and I'll show you a little bit later on the things I got done, because they're involving the orange peels, and I also got a couple of other things done that maybe could be useful to somebody. I don't know. But anyways, yeah. Yeah, it's sometimes you'll find me talking about something as I'm doing stuff. So yeah, sometimes I'll not be talkative. Just depends. So if I seem quiet one movie or one episode or whatever I'm doing, and I'm more talkative than the other one, it's all okay. It just depends on what's going on in my life, because I want people to see as I'm talking, right? So I got like a bag of oranges here that was already weighed up for me, and I really want people to see how long the time the effort, not well, the time that it takes, right? Um, to do stuff, because it's sometimes it's not just a matter of uh, how do I slapping the oil. It's not a matter of oh it's easy, right? And I don't want to sit here and say it's not easy because it is, right? It's time consuming, right? But the one thing I'll won't put you through is the time that it takes to, like, for instance, if I got to pressure can something for an hour and a half because they're in the 1 liter mason jars, I'm not going to make you guys sit through an hour and a half of watching the pressure canner and talking. But if it's if I'm doing this, and it's going to be, I'll put you through a session and just so that you can see, okay, well, for his pressure canner, if it takes 7 1 liter things, or if it takes X amount of 500 liters or 250s, whatever the case may be. And same thing with the water bathing, right? I'll do it until it's full, or I run out of whatever I'm doing, right? Like I've got 4 250s in there. I'm on my 5th one. I think that I'd be lucky enough to I'll get 5 for sure. And I just might eat the rest of the oranges. So yeah, I'll probably just end up eating the rest of the oranges here. So yeah, I usually try to put more mason jars into the oven than I actually need, because it's I find that I try to maximize everything that, like, if I've got maximize everything that I'm doing, right? Even if I know I'm going to be using 6 mason jars, say, I'll make sure I put like 10 in just in case, right? But anyways, like today, I put a whole case of 12 of these 250 milliliter jars into the thing, right? And I only used 5 of them, and that's what I got left for oranges, which would be about a half of those 250 milliliters. So, shut down that one burner in the oven. Then I actually, hold on. Yeah, blast this up on high. Then I drop it down. And with water bathing, what you want is the lids to be underneath the water. Okay, when they're doing it, when you're doing that. Whereas the pressure canning, you only want like this much water on the bottom of the jar. You don't want the water covering the lids. I will get the lid on here, and then wait for that to come to a boil, and then, because that's got honey in it, okay, what I will do, I got one of these things here, and what I will do is throw this like that and start filling that up to the top, and I'll have like a little bit of it a day, because I do more, I plan to use more, but I try not to waste everything. So yeah, I'll drink this. And sometimes what I'll do is add ginger to it, or some elderberries to it, or mind you, this stuff's all dehydrated. I will also add all dehydrated pomegranates, lemon, ginger, turmeric and ginger, with a little bit of cayenne pepper and sage, as teas, right? Um, so then I just close up. Well, hold on. Make sure it's on the open there, because now that one there is full. Yeah, now I also got one of these things in case of a power outage. I've got a barbecue and I can still make coffee and tea, but because I still got some of that lemon water, right? I'm going to put it into here. And it's got one of these things. And when I grind up everything for especially like my teas, I will do this. Put it in here, and then I'll put the honey water into here and let it boil up for a little bit. Or not boil, but I'll bring it up to a boil and then let it bring the temperature down a bit and let it simmer for a bit. So yeah. And come on. There we go. And then I'll just fill this up the same way until it's full or the pot is empty. Now keep in mind when I was filling up this putting the mason jars and all that in there, I had the heat on medium. When I started to do this, I had the thing on medium or just under medium, so that the water could start warming up. And when I put it all down, I put it on high. So yeah, that's just what I like to do because it's keeping the mason jars warm, and then I bring it all up to a boil, and then I take it down to medium. So I'll show you on my stove with the bars, because I got this bar system on there, and this one here is full now. And like I'll leave this on. I've got this over here, a placemat, right? Just leave it there, and then I'll leave it there at room temperature, and it's all good. So yeah, alright. Yeah, and then this is what I start doing, is just cleaning stuff up as it's boiling. But I will bring you back when it is boiling and show you some other stuff as well too. Alright, I'll see you in a bit. Alright everybody, I'm back. It is boiling. Okay, and I've got the bar system here on my thing, and I leave it at 8 bars. I leave it on there for 5 minutes, and in 5 minutes time it will be 20, no, it's 20 to 7 now, so quarter to 7, it's got to come off. Now, while that's going on, I'm going to show you some of the other things I have done today. I've got I did some more gardening, the indoor gardening. I took the bananas up and out of the dehydrator and put garlic, real garlic, like the garlic you buy in the grocery malls, the garlic things, and cut them up and left the paper on it as I cut them up. So it looks like that, right? It's got the outside paper, but I took the bigger, like the full thing off. So it's just got the clove paper on it, and it's dehydrating. I vacuum sealed the bananas today. I got, like I said, I was doing some indoor gardening, and I got more colorantro, parsley, and aguilera. Now I've got this one here for my dehydrator. And what I did while I was waiting, while I had the bananas in there, is I just set it on the top like that. And because mine here has some vent holes like that, I just put this one sitting on top, and it will dehydrate the herbs and spices that I like, like parsley, allegra, and all that. I had an old pair of sweatpants. And what I do is I cut them down into rags about yay size there, and use them for cleaning. For stuff like, for instance, this is for the counters here on my table, and for to wipe down. This one here is for my hands. When I'm doing canning, I've got a tile underneath there, and I will just spread it out, because whether I'm pressure canning or not, or a pressure canning or water bathing, doesn't matter. I want it to be sitting on something like that, because although I've got it on a tile, I'm working on a tree here pretty much. The whole thing here, okay, this whole thing is like a 400-year-old tree. And got the legs there as well too. They're like 12 by 12s, but that's another story. That's what I do, is put because of the water and stuff like that, and that will absorb the water. Now I have those oranges there. They were peeled. I took a whole jug, well, pretty much a whole jug, and a vinegar, and I put them in there. And the oils and stuff like that, it's a cleaner, because of the acidity in the oranges and lemons. It is, you let it sit in there, it will give the orange scent or lemon scent to your vinegar, and vinegar's a cleaning thing as well too. My sweatpants, like I said, I showed you the rags. I also take the strings out for whatever use you might need. I had shown you some dehydrated bananas, how you do them in the oven, and I put them in the grinder, and that's pretty much how you want them to be. I froze up some eggs. The way I do them is I scramble them and put them into the freezer there, and in a Ziploc bag, and take out all the air of the Ziploc bag, and then I bake the shells in the oven, and I use put the eggshells in a coffee grinder, um, and it turns out to a powder. Um, so then after that, I've got these 4 pails under. I got the 4 pails here. One's for bone meal, one's for coffee grinds, one's for eggshells, uh, bone meal, coffee grinds, banana peels, bone meal, and eggshells. There. And these are some of the things you really want to have for your garden. Um, so, yeah, that is some of the other stuff that I have gotten done. Now, that's the 5 minutes there that these have been done. And I'm going to take you here just to show you, get the heat off, and then let it I take the lid off. I'll let it cool down like that for 10 minutes. If you do pressure canning, I'll let them sit in there until they're good, because as you can see, get this light on here maybe. Some of them are still bubbling, because what is still happening is, like I said, they are the heat of everything is pushing the air out, and when the cooling happens is after it's expanding everything inside that jar and on the outside, and you want it to cool down as slow as possible in the water, especially when it comes to water bathing, because of the seal. But once you get the lids up and out, once you get the rack up and out, I wait till the bubbles stop. A couple minutes after that, and then pull the rack up and out, so that the metal hands are on the sides. I'll show you because they have stopped there. I got to get something here because the handles fell down into the bottom of the pot, so I'm gonna need at least I'm gonna need my glove on because these handles will be boiling hot, and you are picking up some weight here, so yeah, get them up and out of the water. And then you see the racks up and out of there. I would let them sit there for a couple more minutes like that, and then take them out. Then when I take them out, I put them on that towel, and then once they go pop, you let them. So I put them in the box and I transfer them into the my pantry, wherever it is, after about 5-10 minutes, and put it on the floor. And then 24 hours from then, I unscrewed the lids just enough so I could still pick up the mason jar with that screw lid. I never leave that screw lid down for 2 reasons. First and foremostly, I live alone, and if you get botulism, or if I get botulism, I got nobody here to help me out, because if it's a very, very mild case of botulism. You might live from it if you get the help immediately. But I'm no doctor. Don't go by my word. But botulism is a very serious thing. Like I said, I've been around this stuff, and I'm not perfect with everything. There's things I still don't know about pressure canning and water bathing, and oven canning and vacuum sealing. But after 30 plus years of being in the meat industry, from the farms all the way up to processing plants and packaging plants, and that includes kill floors, I got a little knowledge there, and the water bathing and pressure canning does run in the family on my mom's side, so I do know a little bit or just enough to do this. But it also took some time for me to get comfortable with it and the knowledge and stuff like that. So I will come right. Yeah, and I'll just call this a video, and I hope you guys come back. I hope you found something useful today. So have a good day.